It is my sad duty to announce that Robert Mugabe is no longer the president of Zimbabwe. For the past 35 years, his leadership of the country has been filled with a great deal of turmoil. According to sources following negotiations with the military Monday, Robert Mugabe has stepped down as the president of the country. However, the terms of his resignation have not yet been made public. So there has been some kind of a struggle between the military and the presidency to determine the course of the future of the country. And this comes as the military still claims that this was not a coup, but in fact some kind of act to restore order from the country. Now, with this new information, it seems very clear that that was certainly not the case. The negotiations are being held at the State House, where apparently the military refused to meet with Mugabe at his Blue Roof home in Borodale. The Roman Catholic priest Father Fidelis Mukonori was one of the mediators today. The other mediators were the South African Minister for Defense and the South African State Secretary. This comes after the Zimbabwe Defense Force took control of the country and abducted the president. Now, the Zimbabwe Communist Party and the War Veterans Association has welcomed the coup. The ZCP, or the Zimbabwe Communist Party, said that while the military could not be condoned under normal circumstances, the takeover by the army in the country has been welcomed by the majority of Zimbabweans, who has seen a great deal of destabilization and degeneration of the country as a result of the economic situation brought about by the imperialist powers, who have displayed utter contempt towards the country for initiating its own course of freedom away from neo-colonial power, that is, imperialist power. Now, Zimbabwe has had a very terrible time trying to get by in the face of the disasters that it has faced as a result of the removal from the imperialist powers from the country. Once they were removed, blockades and sanctions against the country immediately began. Those products which were purchased from Zimbabwe that drove the economy were now no longer being purchased as a punishment measure for pushing out the imperialist powers. That has led to a complete destruction of the economy, which is frequently blamed on Robert Mugabe himself. This is simply not the case. If someone chooses not to buy products from them to punish them for pushing out the imperialist control, there's nothing Mugabe can really do about that. It's really one of those situations where, what do you want? Do you want to be independent and have to struggle, or do you want to be a compliant client of an imperialist power? But that's the price of freedom, having to chart a new path, reorientate the entire economy away from having been occupied by a foreign government. The Zimbabwe Communist Party said that Zimbabwe was an undemocratic political system that was characterized by looting by a political elite and economic degeneration. Now, of course, there is corruption in every single country in the world. Many indicators say that there was a more than an average inside of Zimbabwe. Nothing substantially proven, but this does show what kind of a complicated and dangerous economic situation that Zimbabwe has been involved in for decades since liberating itself from colonial control. And this certainly does mark the end of an era, as it appears that Robert Mugabe is now no longer the president of Zimbabwe. Thank you for watching. If you like this program, then please head over to my Patreon page and set up a monthly donation. It's your donations that keep this program running. Also, if you would like, please rate, comment, subscribe, and share in various social media.